Okay, so guys, yesterday we completed our static route and all. Anyone have a doubt regarding the static route? And done that lab yesterday. I gave you 9 router. Completed? Really? Completed? Okay, so today we are going to start our dynamic protocols. Okay, so before it, suppose you have 5 routers like this. Router 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Like this, you have a connectivity. Okay. In this interface, I have one IP address 192.168.1.1. On this interface, I have one IP address 10.0.0.1. This interface 20.0.0.1. On this interface 30.0.0.1. Now my task is I want to reach from this R1 to this is my R1, R2, R3, R4, and R5. My task is I want to reach from R1 to R4. From R1 to R4. So in the R1, how many static route we have to define? 1. Now my next task is I want to reach from R1 to this 30 network. Then one more static route. Then again I have to reach from R1 to 20. 3 static route. And in the router, we can create some loopback IP addresses, loopback interface. It means virtual interfaces. So suppose in the router 4, I'm going to configure one more network, 1.1.1.1. Now in a router 1, how many static route we have to configure? 4. And also I have to reach from here also we have one router 6. And also I want to reach from router 6 to router 4. All these IP addresses. Then again, 4 static route. Here also we have to assign some static route. Here also. Now again, in the router 1, I am creating one loopback 2.2.2.2. It means this information, this network information, we have to assign static route on the router 2, router 6, router 3, router 4, router 5. Suppose again I am creating one more loopback here. So again we have to create one more static route in the router 2, router 3, router 4, router 5, and the router 6. And suppose these routers are not in the physical one location. Maybe one router is belongs to in the Bangalore, in the Bangalore HSR layout. Second router is placed on some white field and all, some other different location. So we have to travel from here to there and we have to configure it. Okay. Again, I come after configuration. Again, I came here in my networker's home. Again, here I created one more network. Then again, I have to go there and again, I have to create one more static route. So it's a headache part. It means we have some more administratively work here. So instead of this, we can use our dynamic routing protocols. In the dynamic routing protocols, they are going to advertise their network itself. If I am creating one network here, automatically they are going to advertise, okay, I have a new network. Just update your routing table. Okay, like this, they are going to tell. So basically, in the dynamic routing protocol, how many types we have? IGP and EGP. In IGP, we have RIP, AIGRP, then OSPF. Like this, we have some routing protocols. And EGP, we have BGP. So according to your syllabus, we have only OSPF. Yeah, so we have ISMs. No issue. Can say. But according to your syllabus, you have only OSPF. But we will discuss about this RIP and EIGRP also. So first I'll give you the one example how is going to advertise that network automatically. Then we will come to the theory part. First practical. So Cisco packet tracer. Okay. So for this lab, I'm going to take three routers. Router 1, 2, and 3. Right, guys? Mega connectivity. So for the router 1 and router 2, I'm going to use this network 192.168.1.0/24. Here I'm going to use 172.16.1.0/24. So first, assign the IP addresses and all. Notepad. I hope you guys know how to assign the IP addresses and all. So this is our router 1. Enable entity interface 0 by 0. Then IP address 192.168.1.1 is the /24. Exit. Done. And also I'm going to change my host name. This is R1. Now R2. Enable entity interface F0 by 0. IP address 192.168.1.2 with the /24. Okay. Okay. The /24. Then no shutdown. Exit. And in the router 2, we have two interfaces. One interface is connected with the 192 network, and the second interface F0 by 1 is connected with 172 network. So interface F0 by 1 with the IP address 172.168.1.1. You can say 1.2. Router 1.1, router 2.2, router 3.3. Because here I am using /24. It means how many networks we have? How many IP addresses we have with the /24? Valid IP address 254. So I can use 1, 2, 3, anything. Then no shutdown. Also change the host name. Host name is R2. Clear? Then last R3. Again enable connectivity interface F0 by 0. Then IP address is 172.168.1.3. Router 1, 1, router 2, 2, router 3, 3. Okay. If we are using /30, then we have to restrict, okay, only we have two IP address. Done. This is the basic configuration. First assign the IP addresses and all, and change the host name R3. Done. Close R2. Cables comes up. The last one R3. So before you can see the IP address is assigned. How can I check? What is the command? So IP interface to IP addresses. What is up? Okay, before the dynamic routing, as I told you, we have some logical interfaces. What the meaning of logical interfaces? Have you used this VMware and all? Any software? Yes. So in that we have some VM networks. So that is the VM network is our virtual adapters. Like you can see in my laptop, I have a total 3 physical NIC cards. one for LAN, and 2 for the Wi-Fi. But actually, you can see in my laptop, totally I have 5 NIC cards here. This is my LAN NIC card, physical one. This is a Wi-Fi and the wireless two physical devices, physical NIC card. But these three is my virtual interfaces, virtual NIC card. Okay. When I'm installing VMware software, so they are going to assign me some virtual NIC cards and all. So same like with PC, in a router we have our virtual NIC cards. It's called a loopback interface. Clear? So suppose in R1, I'm going to create one loopback interface. So first tell me if you want to assign IP address on any interfaces. So first we are coming on that particular interface, like interface F0 by 0 and F0 by 1. So here I am going to create my loopback interface. So we have to come on a loopback interface mode. So 50 interface loopback. And this much virtual interfaces we can create. I guess color something. Select any number. And this is my logical interface. So no need to fire that no set command. All in the defaultly is in a up state. Let's verify. Do so IP interface brief. You can see the last one, second last. This one loopback one. Okay. Status is up. Protocol also up. So this is my router 1, or you can see in the router 2. Suppose I am creating one loopback. This is not working. Okay, do it. Suppose this is my router. In the router, I am going to create some loopbacks, like interface loopback 1. This is my one NIC card, loopback NIC card. Here I have to assign some IP addresses. And suppose if I'm create one more loopback here, interface loopback 2. This is my different NIC card. So in a router 1, in a router, suppose you have two physical NIC cards. Okay, two physical interface F0 by 0 and F0 by 1. So we are assigning the two different network IP addresses on that. Correct? So same like this is my loopback interface. So we have to assign some different network IP addresses. So suppose if in a loopback 1, if I'm assigning 10.0.0.0 network. So in the loopback 2, I can't use this 10 network. So I have to use 20 network. Okay. So you can see in the loop for the loopback 1, I am occupying only one network, entire network. But what's my requirement? I need only one IP address. So which subnet mask we can use? /32. So for the loopback IP address, we are using /32 mostly. If you want to use /24, it's okay, but it's a wastage of IP addresses. So we are using /32. Clear? Router 1, loopback 1, IP address is unassigned, but status is up. Now, same process, IP address 1.1.1.1 with the /32. Enter. No need of the no shutdown command, but fire it. Because in some case, when you are creating some loopback address in the physical devices, so sometime is in a down state, in some rare case. So fire no shutdown command. Now again check, so IP interface loopback created, IP address is assigned. Clear? Now, I created one loopback in my router 1. Okay, I created one loopback in my router 1. Don't know, my pen is not working. Okay. So in the router 1, we have loopback 1, like 1.1.1.1. Now my task is I want to reach from router 3 to that loopback IP address. So in the router 3, I have to create one static route. Suppose I am creating one more loopback here, 2.2.2.2. So again, I have to create one static route in the router 3, and also we have to create static route in the router 2 also. Again, I am creating one more loopback. So again, I have to create static route in the router 3 and the router 2. Correct? Is the headache part. So that's why we are going to use dynamic routing. So first, I'll discuss about the RIP. So come to the router 1. First, I'll show you the configuration part. Then we will discuss some theory. So IP router, you can see type router U question mark. So we have a BGP, ERGRP, OSPF, and the RIP. So first RIP. Okay, U question mark, nothing. Hit enter. And in the RIP protocol, we have total 3 versions: RIP version 1, 2, and which one? RIP NG for the IPv6. So we have version 1, version 2, and the RIP NG. Next generation, you can see RIP NG. So in a version 1, when you want to advertise your network, means in the router 1, how many networks we have? In the router 1, one physical interface and one loopback interface. It means we have a total 2 networks. So in the, you can see the 192.168.1.1 and 1.1.1.1. So it means 2 IP addresses we have. It means 2 different networks we have. So by using dynamic routing protocol, we have to advertise our network. So how can we advertise our network? Either I can broadcast that message, or in the dynamic routing protocol, we have some multicast concept, multicast address. So in RIP version 1 is going to use broadcast IP address for advertising their network information. Okay, but in a RIP 2, forget about this one. This one you will learn CCNA. In version 2, we are using one multicast IP address. Anyone have an idea? What is a multicast IP address? 224.0.0.9. Okay. Version 1, it's using broadcast, and the version 2 is using multicast. What's the difference between the broadcast and the multicast? Huh? What's the meaning of broadcast and the multicast?
Everyone will listen. Multicast to join the multicast groups.
Yeah, it means a broadcast, it means one to all. And the broadcast, multicast, it means once to particular group. Okay. And in version 1, we don't have any authentication method. Authentication, it means like this is my router 1. Just 1 minute. This is my topology. Authentication, it means I'm going to enable my routing protocol in this router and in this router also. So suppose when you are coming into the networker's home and in any company, so they will give you some card or some punching things. When you are pressing that button, or we have some password. If you are entering that password, then you can open that door. Same like in the routing protocol. When I'm advertising my network from one side to another side, one router to another router. So with the authentication, first is going to ask, please authenticate yourself with password. If you don't have any password, so I'm not going to receive any kind of information from you. This is the authentication. But in the RIP version 1, we don't have any concept, no authentication. But in the version 2, we have authentication types. In version 1, we have to advertise our class full networks. What the meaning of class full? Like 192.168.1.0/24. This is a class full. Suppose if I use subnet like /8, so it's not going to advertise this /8. It's assuming, okay, this is the class C IP address, so we advertise with /24. So no subnetting concept here in the version 1, but with the version 2, we have. Clear? So we are going to use version 2. So we have to specify version 2. Okay. And also we have to fire one command. You can see the first auto summary. So by using auto summary, it's assuming like if I am advertising 192.168.1.0/8. So it's supposing, okay, this IP address belongs to class C. So it's going to advertise with /24. So we have to disable that one. So auto summary. Now the third command. Now I have to advertise my network. I enabled my routing concept. Now I have to advertise which network I want to share with my neighbor's router. So with this command, network, question mark is asking what is your network IP. So first, how many networks we have? We can check like do so IP interface brief. 2 IP addresses we have, it means 2 network we have. And also you can see do so IP route. We have 2 networks. So we have to advertise these networks by using network command. So 192.168.1.0. Okay, hit enter. Then second one 1.1.1.1. Hit enter. Clear? Done. This is the commands. Do so yes. This much command we fire. First come to the router rip, then version 2, no auto summary, and advertise your network. Clear? Come to the router 2. Well, M60. Now again I have to advertise my network here. So how many networks we have? Do so IP interface with 2 networks we have. I'm going to use router rip. So router rip, hit enter. Version 2, auto summary, then network. We have to advertise our network. 192.168.1.0, then network 172.16.1.0. Just wait. And how can I check how many networks we have in our router? So IP routing table we have to check. Do so, not do so. So IP. Now how many networks we have? 3. And the first one, this 1.1.1.1, it belongs to router 1. But we have a route. I didn't configure any static route. Automatically detect. Okay, and you can see here we have our R. R means rip. Okay. Now I guess yesterday or 2 days ago I gave you one task. What is the ID value? Okay, what is the ID value? What is ID? Not ID value. What is the ID? What the meaning of ID? Administrative distance. Okay, full form, leave it. Why we are using? Choose the best protocol, not route. Choose the best protocol. We have to select first. We have to select which protocol we are going to use, not a path. Which protocol we are going to use. Okay. So in a static, what is our ID value? 1, and with the rip, our ID value is 120. You can see here. 120. Okay. And also I gave you one task. What is the matrix? What is the matrix? Is of like a matrix. By using matrix, we can going to choose our best path. We are going to select our best path. ID value for choosing our protocol, matrix for best path. Clear? And your RIP is working on hop. Metric is hop. Hop means distance. So suppose this is your protocol. This is your topology. After 1, 2, 3. Okay. I configure my static. Why this is not working? Nice. So suppose this is my router 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now here I configure my RIP protocol. Now I want to reach from router 1 to router 3. So which path is going to prefer? We have only one path. So it's going to take this one. But suppose I have one more route here directly. So which path is going to prefer? The second one. On which basis we are going? Like we can see, okay, I have directly connectivity, so I can go there. But suppose here I am getting 100 Gbps speed, and here I am going to take 200 kbps speed. Then
Second one.
first one, normal scenario is going to select first one, but your RIP protocol is going to work on the hop distance. So it doesn't matter on the second way, on the first route, we have a long distance, but we have good internet speed. It's not going to take. It's going to check distance. On the second path, I have directly reachability. So I'm going to select second path. Doesn't matter, my speed is very, very low. Doesn't matter. RIP is going to work on the hop count, distance. It's a distance vector routing protocol. And the algorithm in the RIP, we are using Bellman-Ford. Theoretical concepts. Okay. Distance vector routing protocol, algorithm is Bellman-Ford. So it's going to prefer second one. And any idea what is the last hop? How many hop is going to count? 15. Only 15. In the RIP, is going to advertise its network only to the 15th router. After 15th, it's not going to advertise their network. So we have a limitation. That's why we are not using RIP, because it's just a 15 routers. In the RIP, 255. ERGIP 255. Okay, so come here. Now, in OSPF we have different concepts. In the areas and all we have something. No limitation. Now come to the R1. Now come to the R1. And R1 I am going to again create one more loopback. I'm going to create one more loopback. So exit, interface, loopback 2. Automatically comes up because it's a logical device, logical interface. Then IP address 2.2.2.2 with the slash 32. Why? Because it's a loopback interface. We need only one IP address. Hit enter. Now, if I check in the router 2, do we have a route for these two networks? Yes. How many saying yes or how many say no? Question. You can see in the router 1, I created one loopback. Okay, and I enabled here routing protocol. So do I have a route in the router 2 for this two network? Yes. Yes. Yes or no? RIP is enabled, you can see. Already we created here RIP protocols. This one. So do we have? Yes or no? Okay. Just tell me why we fire this command, this network one. By using network command, we are advertising our network. So I didn't advertise my network yet. So how can we receive this network information in the router 2? I didn't advertise it. No. Come to the router 1 again. I just create my loopback here. So IP interface RIP. I have, but write it down this command. So IP protocols. Okay. This is a RIP one. How many networks I advertise? Only 2. I didn't advertise my second network. So how can we get this network information in some other router? Clear? So come to the RIP Now advertise your network by using network command. Network 2.2.2.2. Clear? Hit enter. Now come to the router 2 and check. Okay, now we have. So suppose I am trying to ping from router 2 to router 1. Do we have reachability? Yes, because we have route in the routing table. 1.1.1.1. Clear? So now just tell me in the router 3 how many networks we have? One, and I didn't configure routing protocol yet. So come to the router 3. First check the IP address. So IP interface brief. Only one IP address. Check the routing table. So IP route. Only one network information. Clear? Now I'm going to enable my routing protocol. So what is the command? Router read. Then we have to specify our second version. Then no auto summary. Then we have to advertise our network. So how many networks we have? One. So network 172.16.1.0. Before firing this command, come to the router 1 and verify, do we have a route for this 172? So IP route, I have. Why? Because in the router 2, we have this information and we advertise this network. In a router 2, how many networks we have? In a router 2, how many networks we have? This 192 and 172. Already I advertised this network from the router 2. That's why we have that information in that. Clear? Yeah. So just tell me, if I want to reach from router 1, router 3 to router 1 to router 3. So do we have a reachability or not? In the router 1, I have this 172.16.1.0 network information in router 1. In the router 2, also we have. In the router 3, also we have 172.1.6 network. So just tell me, do we have a reachability?
Yes, sir. Because router 2 will share information to us.
And what about the reply packet? This is the networking. Only we have to learn the packet flows here. Just we have to learn how your packet is going from one side to other side. That's it. Command we can just fire the Google. What is the command for the read? We can copy and paste. It's not a big issue. How your packet is going from one side to another side. Yes, sir. I have information of 172.1.6 network in the router 1. This same network information I have in the router 2. Same network information we have in the router 3. Just tell me, do we have a reachability from router 1 to router 3? Means request packet is going to know or not?
Yes.
Yes? What about the reply packet? No. Because in the router 3, how many information we have in the routing table? Sorry. Wait first. I don't want to advertise this network yet. So IP route. How many network information we have? Only one. If I want to send any packet from router 1 to router 3, so my request packet is come to the router 3, but reply packet is going to drop. Clear? Okay. Clear? So when I am advertising this my network, actually by using network command, we are not going to advertise our network only. Like router rip, okay, version 2, no auto summary. Now by using network command, I'm not going to advertising my network. Also, I'm enabling my routing protocol on a particular interface. Which interface?
Starting with the command डाल दिए इनको
हाँ,
तो रोबोट कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन भेजेगा नहीं भेजेगा
वही बता रहा हूँ.
जब नेटवर्क कमांड डालने के लिए भेजेगा
सबनेट अंडरस्टैंड करता है ना
हाँ.
तो ये हम ये भी यूज कर रहे हैं नॉट
By default वो disable होता है feature.
बाय
तो जब हम नेटवर्क कमांड डालते हैं तभी शेयर करेंगे इन्फॉर्मेशन
Yes, yes. Okay, just tell me why we are using this network command. Actually, this network command is used for two purposes. Correct? Is going to advertise your network, but also is going to enable that routing protocol on that particular interface. Till now, in this F0 by 1, this router to F0 by 1, I have this information, like I have a routing protocol enabled on this interface. But what about this F0 by 0? I configure my router, I configure read protocol in my router 3. Okay, but I didn't enable that routing protocol on the particular interface. I didn't enable. Now by using this command, network command, and what is my network? 172.168.1.0. Just tell me this network IP address is assigned on which interface? Which interface? 0/0. So when I'm firing this command, so it's going to advertise this network and is going to enable the routing protocol on the particular interface. This interface F0 by 0. Now we have routing protocol on this interface. It means we are going to send our network and we are going to receive our network. This is the funda of the network command. Now come to the router 3. Now check. So IP route. We have information. Clear? Okay. 1, 2, 3, something we have. Now check the reachability. Ping 1.1.1.1. We have reachability. Clear?
तो अगर हम ऑटो समरी डालेंगे तो /8 दिखाएगा ना
Yeah. No, auto summary डालेंगे /8 दिखाएगा. Clear? Now, as I told you, which routing, which multicast IP address is using? Huh? .9. How can we verify? So IP protocol. So IP protocols. Where is it? So for that we have to capture our packet. We have to capture our packet. So what I'm going to do here, close this one. Simulation. Okay, focus here. So I'm going to configure one loopback interface in the router 3. And then I'm going to advertise that network. Clear? So first come to the config mode. Interface, loopback 1. IP address I'm going to 33.33.33.33. The /32. Clear? And notice here, I didn't receive any log here, like this interface is up or not. And by default is up, but we didn't receive any logs. That's why sometimes we are not receiving in log, but our that port is in up state. Sometimes we are not receiving the logs. Now I successfully created one loopback, but I didn't advertise this network. So when I'm checking the router 1, you don't have any information. Now come to the router 3 and advertise that network. And also focus on that simulation panel. Exit router. And also just tell me if I want to check how many networks I advertise with this protocol. So how can we check? So IP protocol. So IP protocols. So I enable my read protocol and this network I advertise. Okay. Now, and AD value is 120. Config T, router, read, version 2, auto summary. Now we have to advertise our network. Network 33.33.33.33. Hit enter. You can see we got one log there, one packet. Open that packet. And yeah, one more thing, this RIP version, RIP protocol is working on the layer 7. Layer 7. And it's using port number. Port number is 520. Okay, note it down. Port number is 520 and it's working on layer 7. Clear? You can see the capture layer 7. What is the port number? UDP port number 520. Huh?
120.
ID value. It's the ID value. It's the port number. Different things. Now you can see. Okay, guys, just tell me if I want to send my data, like I want to send my some information from one side to another side. If you are trying to ping from R1 to R2 or your PC to the internet. So what is your source IP address? Your on PC IP address, and the destination is @@@@. Now I am trying to advertise my network. So source IP address is my on. What about the destination?
Say, which protocol you use? Which protocol you use?
RIP.
That multicast.
Yeah. So you can see the layer 3. It's visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the layer 3, you can see source IP address is my own IP address and it's advertised. The destination is 224.0.0.9. Okay. So if I'm not enabling that RIP protocol on my particular interface, so it's receiving that packet, but I didn't enable that RIP protocol on the particular interface, so it's going to drop that message. So we have to enable it.
So what about that MAC address? Destination MAC address.
First destination, our next nearest one. This one. We have a separate MAC address for this RIP and all. We have something separately. So just tell me how many types we have in the RIP? One version 1, version 2, and the next generation also. Okay, RIP version is working on the layer 7. Port UDP port number 520. Multicast IP address is 224.0.0.9. Clear? So it's going to advertise this network. Then router 2 also is going to advertise that network. Here, guys, any doubt in this RIP version, like this dynamic routing protocol? Yeah? Any doubt? Do this lab. Okay, do this lab. I'll take the 3 routers and configure it. Do this lab. Okay, guys, configure this one. So if I suppose in the router 1, how many internet networks we have? In the router 1, we have 2 internet network information, like 192.168 network and the 1.1.1 network and 2.2.2 networks. Total 3 networks I have. So these 3 networks I have to advertise in my router 1. Clear? Now in the router 2, how many networks we have? 192 and 172. So these 2 networks we have to advertise from the router 2. And the router 3, how many networks we have? 2, 172 and 33. So this network we have to advertise in the router 3. You have to check how many IP addresses you have, and according to that you have to advertise your network on particular router. Clear? Loopback is just we are creating our logical interfaces and all. Logical interfaces. Simple. Yeah. Just we are creating our logical loopback. That's it. No, it's not related to the RIP protocol. Just I am creating one loopback interface. Like in my PC, I have some virtual interfaces. So same like I am creating one logical interface in my router. So by using loopback interface, loopback command, we can create a logical interface. That's it. That's it.
So you have assigned that IP address 33.33. That is the
Loopback IP address.
loopback. Can you show the command type?
Simple, you can see here. Interface loopback 1 and the IP address same like we are doing interface F0 by 0. Then IP address same like interface loopback 1 and the IP address.
Even IP address or
Any IP address. Any IP.
that creates the virtual interface.
Yeah, it's created by using loopback. It means your virtual interface.
So that comes under dynamic.
It's just a loopback. I said nah, like this loopback interface is not related to the RIP. I just created one logical interface. That's it. No, it's a just logical interface. No. Instead of PC, I am taking this one. Okay. Guys, that loopback IP address is not related to the RIP. I am just creating one logical interface in my router. Got it? I am just creating one logical interface. It's not related to the RIP protocol. Okay. Don't be like for RIP we need a loopback interface and all. Loopback interface is just a virtual interface. And by using router RIP, like a RIP protocol, I am advertising my network. Clear? It's not related to the routing protocols and all. It's just a logical interface. Yeah? Yes. Right now, you advertise your own network. Yeah, correct. Okay. So again, I am explaining like which commands we fired here. Come to the router 2. So first we have to assign the IP address. Then same is like router EIGRP. We are using AS number. Why we are using AS number? If we are using the same AS number, it means all the routers are belongs to within the same area, same admin area. And if you are using same AS number, so you are using AD value is 90. If we are using different AS numbers, so our AD value is 170.
If you use different address, no problem, sir.
Huh?
If you use different IS number.
So there is a different concept. Might be you are not getting reachability and all. There's a different concept for it. CCNP. Okay. Now we have to advertise our network. Simple one with the wildcard. Yeah. Okay. So today the practical is done. Now let's come to the interesting task. Just tell me if you want to take the console access of this device. This is my data center device, data center router. Okay, I need this is my fresh machine, and I want to assign some IP address and all for the remote access. So we have to do some skinny configuration. So for that we need to take the console access of this device. How can we take the console access for this cable? Using a putty software. So this one, which color is blue? Sky blue something. Okay. So this is our console cable, and this is our DB9 console. Okay, and I don't have any port to connect this cable in my PC. That's why we need one converter. It's called a DB9 converter. Okay, so this one is RJ45, simple. We have to connect on the console. This is my console port. Yeah. Okay, so this is my console port. Simply connect it. And here also we have one button. 1 and the 0 1. Remember this, I guess you know. Like this one, and also we have this one icon something. 0 means off and 1 means on. So just on this device. Sound is coming. It means it's up. Now for getting the console access, we need one software. Putty software. You have to download. Now just one thing. Come to the my computer. Right click on this PC, manage.
पहले ड्राइवर डालना पड़ेगा.
Windows 10 में by default आ जाएगा. Now you can see the device manager. Click on it. Okay. This is my cable USB, simply plug in. So there, see there. When I'm connecting this my one, it automatically is refresh. कहाँ गया? Yeah, this one. If I'm removing this one, that cable is gone. If I'm connecting again here, you can see the port COM, this one. Focus this, COM 6. If I'm removing this cable, it's gone. Again, if I'm connecting this cable, again it's came. So this is my console. With this number COM6, I'm going to take this CLI access of this device. So start your putty, select serial, change the COM number. Here I have COM6. Hit enter. Power on this device. You can see we got the logs and all something. It's booting. So like this, we can take the CLI access, like console access. After getting the console access, you can assign the IP address on particular interface and you can enable the telnet service. And by using telnet, you can take the remote access. Simple. It's take time because it's our data center device.
So 512 MB क्या?
Uh, memory. Just check it, the memory size.
मतलब RAM होता है.
What the meaning of memory? Memory होगा.
और मेन मेमोरी 52488 मेन मेमोरी नीचे लिखा है.
It's bytes, kilobytes. If you are converting your MB into the kilobytes, so what is the value? Just वो KB में बता रहा है, वो ऊपर MB में है. Okay, now you can see the hashing. It means your ISO file now is booting. Okay. Self decompress the image.
वही थोड़ा के फिर से डालेंगे.
अभी नहीं भाई.
दो रोबन मोड पे करते हैं. ये भी बोल सकता है. ये
Ask. खोल ले जाना.
नहीं इधर ही प्रैक्टिस करनी है.
Ask to
सरका
Sabir.
वही थोड़ा के फिर से डालेंगे.
Ask to the Sabir. Sabir. You have to ask to the 11 child. Sabir.
अच्छा करने के लिए देते हैं ना वही थोड़ा के फिर से डालना. इसका पहले बैकअप लेंगे. बैकअप लेके कैसे होगा?
Okay, now you can see we got the logs. So this is our R1. How can we check this IP address? So IP interface brief, same commands. Okay, so we have lots of ports and lots of IP addresses here. Again, fire the command. So IP interface brief. So how many ports we have? Basically, we have 1, 2,
14
then
gigabyte port.
huh?
14 gigabyte port.
14th not unlimited ports we have, no?
What do you have 14 gigabyte?
We have some here. You can see some sub interfaces also we have. This is our gigabit port. This is our serial port. This is a gigabit port 01. Okay, like this we have. Then loopbacks, VLAN, like this we have. Then what I can do, like I can select any of this interface. I can assign the IP address on it, and I can connect with through the cable.
So what is that 0.100?
It's a sub interfaces. Sub interfaces. This is my physical interface, and this is my sub interface.
इसमें मतलब virtual interface बना है.
Virtual interfaces. Okay, so guys, understood like how can we take the CLI access of this device through the console cable, and we need one putty software. Okay, any doubt? Okay, then see you on Monday. Monday we are going to start our OSPF, so please do some R&D on it. See you on Monday.